Hello and welcome to Promenade Française. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hmm. Well, I had a chat with my study buddy today, and this crazy girl. So I told her like today is going to be day 82 in the challenge of the 90-day challenge, and she's like, no, there's like at least 10 more days or something like this, and I'm like 10 more days. No, she said like 14 more. She thinks it's anyway. She thinks it's a lot more days than I think. And I was basically like, well, I mean, like, no. So I showed her my YouTube channel. I'm like, look, I've been counting these days ever since the beginning. And you know what I realized is that she's hooked. She's hooked. Remember back in like episode number 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that? And she was struggling. And then she was like crying. She's like, yeah, I'm like working full time and I get home and I don't have the energy to do this. And then she was supposed to, we did the double or nothing. And it was so weird, double or nothing. So she didn't understand what double or nothing means because uh, I missed one. So I missed one night. I don't remember which one it was, but I didn't do it one night. When I went to Tbilisi one time, I live out in like a village in the middle of nowhere. And so when I got to travel 2.5 hours to another city, and then I got to deal with the emotions of like, because like I go to church there. Usually I do church online. I just attach to their Zoom meeting. When I go in person, it's really intense because like, religious people are generally emotional. And this is like my culture from growing up. So I don't know, for some reason it's really intense. And by the time I get home, I'm just so tired. I can't see straight. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was the day when I went to Armenia to renew my visa. It was just intense. Anyways, I actually got a new passport. So anyways, that whole situation got resolved. So now we're at the edge of the world still with a new passport and a dog. And I'm trying to figure out how to make money, how to make business, how to make progress in this life. And I realized that language learning is a huge, huge industry. And if you can create something that other people don't have, if you can create something that's useful, see, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to stay motivated. And because I have extensive experience learning languages, then I understand a lot of the dynamics behind staying motivated. That's why I created the 90-day challenge. And I found a study buddy. And I'm making these videos. So I forced myself, right? I got the videos, I got the study buddy. We have a very clear plan. We got 90 exercises, we got 90 days. So we're going to do a 90-day challenge. And then you've seen me struggle through this process for the past 82 days. But because of all the different, the safeguards, the structure, I've been able to stay motivated, gone through thick and thin, and here we are today. And there you go. So like it's like, but now I think that now that I've gotten through A1, probably there is a huge amount of French learners that are in A2 or maybe more, A2 and above. There's probably more learners. See, I'm thinking about like business, I'm thinking about technology because it's already something I'm doing for myself, right? I'm looking for opportunities to make learning easier for myself. And if I can also make learning easier for other people, like, wouldn't that be great? So I'm talking to my study buddy today. We're talking about this idea about like maybe producing some kind of website or web-based, AI-based learning process. Because I think we're getting there. We're getting really close. You can embed a chatbot. Imagine you put your chatbot. You don't even need a chatbot, really. What you need is prompts. Because everybody has ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever. You already have it on your phone. So what you need is the prompts. So what a textbook should look like now isn't the traditional textbook. See, the problem I have with this textbook, if it actually works, probably won't work. Definitely didn't. Wow, that's wild. So I'm sharing this screen, which is the actual screen. This doesn't even make sense. Anyways, it's ridiculous. Okay, it works if I do it this way. So if I first share another screen and then I come back and share this screen, then it works. Yeah, exactly. All right, so it means that the textbook of the future is not going to be like this. So what this is, the interesting thing about AI, it teaches us new ways to how we should be thinking. The idea is a prompt engineer. This textbook is actually a prompt. This is a prompting system. For example, okay, well, we're not on chapter 3. Oh, this is actually chapter either. I think we're in chapter 31. Yeah, chapter 31. All right, so it says ma première histoire d'amour. Aujourd'hui, vous le savez tout sur le. Okay, so it's Valentine's Day. We're having a party of love and lovers. So love, but est-ce que vous vous souvenez de votre première fois? So tell us about your first love story. Now, what is that? Remember? Do you remember your first story of love? And then they start telling stories. The idea here is that the book is prompting you. It's telling you, read this story. Right? That's what it says. Read. Now, I remember a site when I was studying Russian. It's called Learn Russian RT. And they broke it up into small little sections, right? So the very first section, it says, Задание 1, слушайте и закончите диалоги. And then you can click the audio.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Александр.
Стажер? Привет, Александр. Меня зовут Юля. Я секретарь.
Right? Здравствуйте, меня зовут Alexander. So you have to go over here, you have to find the Alexander, you pull it and put it into here. She said, стажер, привет, Alexander. Меня зовут Юлия. Я...
Очень приятно.
Where is she? Я секретарь. I think she said, я секретарь.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Александр.
Стажер? Привет, Александр. Меня зовут Юля. Я секретарь.
Я секретарь. Exactly. Я секретарь. So then we take the word secretary and we put it in there. Bada bing, bada boom. So the point is, like, look, this is a much more useful experience, right? Because first of all, I can read. Also, I'm listening to the audio, and then after I hear the word Alexander, I have to go down to this box over here. I have to find the word. I have to drag it in here, and then секретарь, очень приятно, давай на ты. Давай на ты. So in Russian, it would be like in French, they would say, let's use tu instead of vous. Anyways, you get the point. And then here we got the grammar. So then we have like a short basic grammar. So for example, u тебе есть машина? It means, do you have a car? Еще нет, not yet. У тебя есть машина? Да, уже есть. So we're just talking about the difference between уже and еще. Then you go into here, you go into the full grammar, and it gives you more exercises. What's this? Слушаем диалог один еще раз. So you got to listen to the audio again. Кто чей муж, сын? So it's going to be talking about the relationships between the people who work there. Next, another audio. It's a lot of audio. Мой муж. And then we learned something called чей, which means whose. Mine, your, hers, his. And then now it's like, okay, so che is what? Che is masculine. So Skype is what? It's che, it's masculine. Internet is masculine. Sistema is feminine. Новости, client, база, кино. I don't know, is kino neutral? Дети, лампа, метро, билет, музей. I don't know what musée is. Musée, musée. I don't know. Feminine maybe? Сестра, девушка, стул, море, ночь, книга, журнал, кофе, часы, чай, вода, карты, проблема, бюро. All right, but it doesn't tell you which one's wrong. That's the only problem here. Like I have an error, but it doesn't tell me which one's wrong. And then we got what? We got Daria. Что делает Дирк?
Дирк, что ты делаешь?
Я смотрю новости.
И что?
Ничего интересного. А что ты смотришь?
Я смотрю твои имейлы.
Что?
Шутка. Я смотрю индексы.
Кто смотрит сериал «Идиот»?
Я смотрю, но не часто. А мой муж не смотрит. Он говорит, что неинтересно. А что?
А я все смотрю. У меня дома компьютер не работает, только телевизор.
Понимаю.
You see that? Got a check mark. So it's like fantastic. You can listen to the audio. You can try to listen for the information. I think they did a fantastic job with this education system. And it's all prompts, right? It's like prompting. It tells you listen to the dialogue. So you have a prompt to tell you what to do. Then you have a prompt. You have some kind of exercise. Then you have some grammar. Then you have some reading. Like there's just all these different things that, okay, at the clean. So based on this text, then you got to do this exercise. It's not too terrible because they actually give you the words instead of you having to produce the words from nothing. I think they did a fantastic job with this website. Now, the question is, okay, so how is it take this textbook and build a website? Because I hate this textbook. I like the content, but I don't like this user experience. I don't like the user experience of a textbook. I just don't think it's useful. My study buddy, she told me she reads everything. Like she's a lawyer and it's just, she just enjoys it. You know, she reads, she goes to number one. Okay, je me souviens écouter l'introduction du reportage et répondre aux questions. Quelle est la date du reportage? De quelle fête parle-t-on? So this is the same thing. So I don't have this audio file. I think she has the audio file. In fact, I think she sent me the audio files, but I didn't really feel like downloading the app. So then you would do that exercise. Here's a grammar exercise. So this is the same thing basically as the website, but instead of like me having to go here, find the audio file and then go here and try to figure out what is it trying to tell me to do. It's just way better organized with a textbook, with a website. And then in addition, it also has some interactive elements. The closest thing I have to interactive elements right now is just AI. AI can help me a little bit. All right, so let's figure out where we are in this. I think we did this yesterday. So this morning I woke up, like I told you in my video yesterday, I'm going to practice these a little bit more. So I woke up, I turned on ChatGPT, I uploaded this image to ChatGPT, and then I tried to talk to it. And I was like, okay, let's start with compris, comprend. Let's make a sentence with compris. Let's make a sentence with comprend. J'ai compris. And then we did suivi, and then we did vu, and then I fell asleep or something, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer. All right. Let's jump into our good buddy. So the first question, of course, is can you see this image? Bonjour, oui, je vais vérifier l'image. Alors, malheur, cette image après de tout noir. I don't know why it's doing this. It's done it twice now. So maybe we need to use this one instead. Let's try this one. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, sirree, Bob. I said, yes, sirree, Bob. It's a way of saying yes. That is right. Yeah, this is my French homework, and I need you to provide a learning experience and use the French language as much as possible. Well, I don't know. The thing is that if you just tell me the answer, I'm not really sure how much I'm going to learn. So we actually need to create a learning experience. Yes, not only that, but since this is Google AI Studio, my assumption is that this platform is here to help us to create products or to help us to create maybe some kind of tools to also create and help other people to make stuff. Well, the thing is that, I was talking to this guy from YC. It's a company called Y Combinator, and he's really interested in blogs. But now that we have AI, he's also interested in the concept of like having some kind of interactive blog where there's an AI element in the blog itself so that we can learn something in the blog article, and at the same time we can go through some kind of learning experience with the assistance of some kind of AI chatbot. Yeah, so my understanding of like what it means to work with AI is that it can be really helpful if I produce some kind of documentation that can calibrate the AI. For example, like if I uploaded a document and you read that document, it would help you to understand exactly what the project is about and how you would help me in the project along the way. No, the document I just uploaded is a completely different situation. Well, the other document is for a different project, so I'm not sure if you would be able to look at this document and then be able to apply the principles and then help me create a new document. Yes. You want me to upload the Google Doc or just paste the text here? Well, it's not just about creating a document for a police questionnaire. It's about creating a new website where the website has blog articles, and each of the blog articles is used to teach some part of a textbook and also present the exercises. Well, the police questionnaire picture is one of the exercises. Yeah. Yeah, but so the thing is that it's true that this is not a very simple exercise if you're just starting French for the first time. I've been doing all the exercises since the beginning of the book, and for me, it's pretty difficult to create the questions. I mean, what kind of options do we have for learning experiences? I mean, for today, actually, I just want the answers, but this is just generally a discussion we could have over time. And I'm wondering, like, how big is your context window? And at what point do we need to start a new chat? Because you won't be able to keep in mind all of the documentation and all of the ideas that we've talked about. Not yet. So my understanding is that with some Google products, you have a 1 million token context window. What is your specific context window? Okay. No, but just print out the questions without any additional text. All right. So the interesting thing about this Google product that we did have a little bit of a chat. Um, wasn't fantastic. I gave it a document to read, and then it died. The connection failed. Like, and this is really common. Like, the connection is constantly failing when it comes to trying to deal with this AI product. It's not my first time using Google AI Studio. And I have to say that my experience has never been very great. It's been like, wow, it's doing something that I haven't seen being done anywhere else. But then it always fails. It always has a problem. What just happened? All right, so I'm going to upload another document. Yeah, and then it completely disappears. Everything, the whole chat's disappeared. I just don't know what to do with this thing. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Qu'est-ce que tu... I guess it would be à faire. Yes, please. All right, so I guess the first one is we took, what is that? Nous prendre une semaine de vacances. We took a 1 week vacation. So then, are we going to use être or avoir? Avant prendrait. Yes. Passé composé. Je vouloirais. Yes, please. I don't know. What do you think? Yes. Well, I mean, I think so. Yeah. I'm not really sure. Well, let's see. Vous restez à Paris, so it means that we took a rest. We had a rest. Vous, okay. Vous, you have means what? Avoir means vous avez resté à Paris. Vous restez. I don't know. How do you say être with vous? Well, since the sentence already has the word vous at the beginning, we can't move that word and we have to only add words after it. I mean, if you look at the actual screenshot, then you'll understand that there's some words that we cannot change the order of. We're just filling in the blanks. So your answer is incorrect. Vous avez resté à Paris? So it means, have you been staying in Paris? Oui. Yes. 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 I don't know. Is this how would you translate it to English? Well, I think we're using the past tense, so we have to say, and some friends came to the house rather than were coming to the house. So it's passé composé. So we got to do être with masculine plural. Ils sont. Sont viendrait. Ding dong. Continue. Continue. So I guess it says my wife rested on the bed and I guess we're using passé composé because it's like my wife rested or was resting. Ma femme resterait. N- Well, we're going to use être and we're going to use sortir in plural masculine. Nous sommes sortir. Sorti. Nous allons au musée. We went to the museum. Passé composé. Nous sommes eu. It was. C'était. Il ne pas y avoir. I don't know. Ne pas y avait. Il fait beau. It was. Yes, please. Yes. All right, so the example says Elle est allée à Londres pour vivre dans une famille anglaise. And it seems like that means that she went to London for live with a family, an English family. All right, so they went to live in the countryside to get away from the busy streets of Paris. I don't know. Yes, please. Yes, sir. You're my lady. Well, maybe because your telephone is broken. Mon téléphone, un problème. Yes. Yes. There's no reason to learn Spanish. I wouldn't. I wouldn't complete the exercise. No, I just want you. You should give me a short answer. I just want you to give me the answer for number 3, and it should be short. Wonderful. Yes. Ok, ils sont partis en vacances en Italie pour manger italienne plat. Obviously, because they wanted to eat Italian food. Well, if you're going to Italy, you should probably say it in Italian. Maybe you can give it to me. That's not the answer. Why don't you ask your mom to give it a try? Ils sont partis en vacances en Italie pour manger Italie cuisine. Le cuisine. La cuisine. Yes. Yes. Pour manger la cuisine italienne. No? No. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Adieu. That's a good one. All right. Wow. So that was kind of wild. I was just trying to do the thing, you know. Wait, I'm just going to delete myself out of this window so it stops talking. All right. So that was day number 82. It was kind of interesting just having an experience with the AI to see like how to make it more learning, how to make a more interesting learning experience. That one was okay, but like the AI, you know, it has its own opinions about what it should do or what it shouldn't do, and also it tends to die after a little while. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep thinking about this, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.